Hey there, how's it going? I'm Mike Cermak, known on the site as Tech Guy, and today I wanted to show you a sneak preview of what we have coming up for the new version of Tech Support Guy. I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope you guys will like it as well. Lots of new things to show on this new program. First of all, it's a secure connection, so it'll connect through HTTPS. It's actually encrypted to add additional security. Also, for new users, registration will be even easier than it has been in the past. The sign up page is very simple, and instead of having a crazy CAPTCHA that you can't figure out, it's using the new Google reCAPTCHA where all they have to do is click "I'm not a robot," and it'll allow them through without having to fill out crazy fields. The new software is efficient and faster. There'll be a handful of styles to choose from, including the VB style, which is somewhat like the old site that we're currently using. It's very square and boxed and makes it a little easier to see things. There's a dark style for those who like the darker theme. And then there's a new default style, which is kind of a more modern, clean take. The new site is also mobile friendly, using a responsive design, which means it looks great on a phone, tablet, or desktop. On our old site, you'd kind of have to scroll left and right, and the menus didn't quite work right. It just wasn't a great experience on mobile devices. The new site is actually built with mobile in mind. One of my favorite new features is the Alerts tab up at the top right. This is a feature I've wanted to add to TSG for years. What it does is it's very much like notifications on Facebook or a lot of other social media sites. So for example, if I go over here into my test user account, I'll see this thread that Tech Guy created, and I can post a reply to it. Thanks for the test. Post reply. And now that test user has replied to me, if I switch back to Tech Guy, you'll see that I have an alert up here at the top right. It says test user replied to the thread test, and I can click on it to be able to see it. So anytime anyone replies to a thread that I'm watching, it'll give me a heads up there. Another thing we can do is that if I switch back over here to my test user, I'll say, I think that at Tech Guy, and it'll give me a suggestion, is a really cool dude. So you can tag other users by using that at symbol. And I'll go ahead and post it. What that does is it'll create it as a link. So at Tech Guy is now a link that'll point to my profile, but it also alerts that user that you've mentioned them in the thread, that you've tagged them there. So if you're trying to get someone's attention, that might be a good way of doing it. So if I switch back over to my Tech Guy login here, I can see I have another alert. Now I have an alert that says test user has tagged you in the post test. That's somewhat similar to Twitter and a lot of other social media sites where you can tag people. Uploading photos has never been easier. If I wanted to upload a new photo here, there's several ways I can do it. One way is I can drag and drop. So I can literally grab a file, drag it over here into the editor, and it'll upload it. Then I can choose to insert a thumbnail or insert the full image right into my editor. Another way you can do it is by copy and paste. So if I have another website where I have a photo, I can right click and copy that photo and right click and paste it into my editor. Paste it right in there. So it makes it real easy for new users to be able to insert images, screenshots, whatever they might need to do. The other thing is if you've watched really carefully in the corner, it says draft saved. The new platform will automatically save drafts of whatever post you're writing about every 30 to 60 seconds. So if your computer shuts down in the middle of writing a post or you accidentally close the tab, you can come back to the site and pick up right where you left off. One last thing I want to show you is private messaging, which is now called conversations. You might recall on the current site, if you have a lot of messages going back and forth between a particular user, you end up with these quote after quote after quote after quote, and it gets a little bit hard to follow at times. In the new system, private messaging is called conversations. So if I go up here to my inbox and go into conversations, I have a conversation called how's the weather, which is between myself and test user. And I can go in here and see one reply after another. It really just looks like a thread, and that's what it is. It's a private thread between users that they now call conversations. So it's much easier to follow than what the old private messaging system was. And I think that's about it for right now. While the new site might feel different at first, I think it's really going to help us move forward and keep running for years to come. There'll certainly be bugs at launch, but we're going to work hard to try and resolve those as quickly as possible and then to continue to improve the site over time. I really appreciate your patience through this whole process, and thank you so much for all the support through the years. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.